Hi everyone. Welcome to Learning English Through History. Here we don't just study English. We live it. Every week you will hear now simple stories in English, full of useful words and phrases. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at once. Just listen, enjoy the story, and learn step by step. Our goal: to help you speak English with confidence, so grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's start this adventure together. Subscribe now and join me on the journey of learning English through history. See you in the next video. Enjoy listening.
It had been 2 days since Valentina and Adrian's long night on the beach and at the pier. The sun shone brightly, and Valentina returned to her usual spot by the rocks, notebook in hand, heart full of anticipation. She paused for a moment, listening to the gentle whisper of the waves and inhaling the salty breeze. Everything felt alive, yet the horizon was changing. Dark clouds gathered faster than she expected, hinting at the summer storm that was approaching. Valentina frowned. Summer storms on this coast were unpredictable. Still, she felt a flutter of excitement. Something about storms mirrored her own emotions, turbulent, surprising, yet oddly beautiful. Adrian arrived just as the first drops of rain began to fall, his surfboard tucked under one arm, hair damp from the misty wind. "Looks like the weather is as unpredictable as the sea," he said, smiling, his amber eyes catching the dim light. "Shall we run for cover?" They laughed as they sprinted along the wet sand, their bare feet leaving fleeting footprints. The rain quickly became heavier, soaking their hair and clothes. Waves crashed violently, sending sprays of water toward the shore. Palm trees bent under the wind, their leaves rustling loudly. They reached a small wooden gazebo near the beach café, both panting, dripping wet, and exhilarated. Valentina shivered, and Adrian, noticing, draped his jacket over her shoulders. Their hands brushed, sending a spark of warmth through her. The sound of rain pattering on the roof combined with the roar of the sea created an intimate cocoon around them. They sat together, watching the storm unfold, listening to its chaotic rhythm. Adrian's eyes softened as he looked at her. "You know," he said softly, "I didn't just come back to the beach for the waves. I came back for you." Valentina's heart skipped a beat. She looked away, cheeks flushing. I feel the same," she whispered, barely audible over the storm. The rain seemed to amplify every sensation, the smell of wet sand, the wind whipping past them, the shared heartbeat that felt almost loud in the shelter of the gazebo. They spoke about their pasts, mistakes, fears, and dreams, the secrets they rarely shared with anyone. "You're braver than you think," Adrian said, holding her hand gently. Valentina smiled. "And you're more than just a surfer." You notice everything too. They lingered, lost in conversation, until the rain softened into a drizzle. The storm had passed, leaving a beach that glittered under the silver moon. Wet sand reflected the moonlight and scattered stars. Valentina bent down, picking up a smooth, iridescent shell. "Even storms leave beauty behind," she said softly. Adrian smiled. "Just like life. Sometimes storms hit hard, but they leave moments you'll never forget." They walked barefoot along the shoreline, laughing and joking as the tide lapped at their ankles. Small crabs scuttled away, and pieces of seaweed floated in the shallow waves. They spoke about their families, childhood memories, favorite books, and dreams. Every step strengthened their bond. Valentina occasionally glanced at Adrian, noticing the way his eyes reflected the moonlight, how the damp hair clung to his forehead, and the warmth of his presence next to her. She realized she felt safer with him than she had with anyone in a long time. As they neared the pier, a shadow approached. Valentina tensed. It was Marco, an old friend from her hometown who had always teased her and stirred small troubles in her life. "Valentina?" Marco called, sounding surprised. "I didn't expect to see you here." Adrian stepped closer protectively. "Who's this?" Valentina hesitated. "Marco from home. An old friend." Marco smirked, his voice laced with amusement. "Old friends always turn up, huh?" Adrian gave her a reassuring look. "Don't worry," he said. "We'll focus on us." The tension made them walk closer together. Adrian whispered jokes to make her laugh, and she felt a wave of relief. Even with Marco there, she realized she felt safe with Adrian by her side. They moved to the pier bar, which glowed warmly under fairy lights. The band played soft acoustic melodies. The night smelled of grilled seafood, sweet cocktails, and ocean air. Choosing a table by the edge, they watched the moonlight dance on the water. Tourists laughed around them, sharing stories, while the waves crashed gently beneath the pier. "Tell me something no one else knows," Adrian whispered. Valentina hesitated. "Why me?" "Because writers hide truths in stories," he said gently. "But I want the truth." Her fingers tightened on the glass. "Sometimes I fear my words won't matter. That even if I finish a book, it will vanish like a page lost to the wind." Adrian reached across the table, brushing her hand. "Then I'll tell you mine. When I surf, I'm not just chasing waves. I'm running from mistakes, from days I can't undo." They stayed in silence, letting the music, ocean, and night envelop them. Walking back along the moonlit beach, their feet sank into the wet sand, reflecting the stars above. Valentina picked up another shell, watching a tiny crab scuttle across the surface. "You notice everything," Adrian said softly. "And you notice how I notice," she replied with a small smile. They wandered farther, playful waves splashing around their ankles. Adrian paused, gazing at her. "It feels like I've known you longer than a day," he murmured. Valentina's heart fluttered. "I feel the same." They paused to watch the waves break gently over rocks, listening to the distant hum of the ocean. Adrian brushed a strand of hair from her face. She closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of his hand linger. Valentina thought about the story she had been trying to write. But tonight, words felt unnecessary. What mattered was the moment, the spark, the connection with Adrian. The storm, Marco's sudden appearance, and the night itself had shown her that real stories weren't always written on paper. They were lived. She realized she had never felt so alive, so connected to someone else. Every laugh, glance, and touch was etched into her memory. And so, amidst summer storms, shadows from the past, and moonlit walks along silver waves, Valentina and Adrian discovered that life's best stories are written in moments, in laughter, whispered secrets, gentle touches, and courage shared. The ocean, ever mysterious, had given them beginnings of love, tested by rain and shadow, yet strengthened under the stars.
Great job today. You learn new words and expressions through our story. Remember, the more you listen, the more you understand. Don't forget to subscribe to Learning English Through History and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and share it with your friends. Thank you for learning with me. See you in the next story. Bye for now.